Hello guys, J Motion Pictures back with another video, and today I'm very excited to be going over the DC Multiverse McFarlane Toys Rebirth Batman. I've heard some good things about this figure, and I really wanted it. I love the sleek design, and yeah, so taking a look at the packaging, you can see on the side you have Batman from the DC Multiverse. On the back, you have a picture of Batman with the exposure turned all the way up, or at least that's what it looks like, and I believe the knee pads are actually different than on that picture. Okay, that's odd, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, on the bottom you can see the figures in the other quote-unquote wave, and then on the other side you see DC Rebirth, and then on the bottom it says Multiverse Batman, obviously, and then at the top, 22 moving parts by McFarlane Toys, and that's it for the packaging, so let's get on to the figure. The accessories, we get the ordinary DC display stand that we get with like almost every figure. Then we have the trading card, which I've said before, it looks too overexposed. And then we have a nice and sleek grappling hook, which I actually like quite a bit. It has no paint or detail, but I don't think it really needs it. And then here we have just a regular Batarang, which is pretty big. But honestly, I'm fine with it. I actually like it. I think it's okay. Now, going on to the design of this figure, I really like it a lot. Now, a complaint is that this figure is shorter compared to others, but I kind of like that because it kind of scales in more with the 6-inch. Now, it doesn't do it perfectly. For example, here's how he stands against the Iron Man, but like, honestly, that's not horrible. It's the best you're gonna get. And until we get an actual good 6-inch DC line, which seems impossible to think of it happening, but I mean, it could, you don't know, but for now, this is going to have to do. And this is a really nice figure. The design is fine. It's not anything too crazy. The proportions may be a little weird with the huge thighs, but I honestly kind of like it because it kind of gives that superhero proportion look. I mean, the arms really do help out the chest looking a little more broad. I think the chest either should be put more out a little more, or simply just shrink the thighs a little bit, because this is more for sleek design of Batman, except he gets these like huge thighs here. So other than that, that's not even a big complaint. I really like this figure. You have the purple on the inside of the cape, which is a really like hard cape, which I know a lot of people don't like, and I'm also one of those people that don't really like it, but I'm able to live with it. I don't mind it, and I think this is because it had to cooperate with the paint that they put here. So yeah, it's not all for no reason. It's not all bad. And then the design on like the gauntlets are pretty good. I like that a lot. I like that the spikes are more sleek. And then the elbows and everything, they look normal. I just wish that could have been black to match the gauntlet design. The lines on the suit are pretty good. The piping around the bat symbol is really nice. I like that a lot. It's not really bad on mine. You can see a couple nicks here and there, but it's not horrible. I can definitely live with it. The belt looks really nice as well, and I really like the belt a lot. I think they did a good job on it. They even painted the back too, so that's pretty good. The knees, they look pretty cool. I like the bat design on them, and I think that was a good choice, and I think they executed it nicely. And then you have the boots here, which look nice. Couple lines there, which I think are fine. It's not too crazy. Okay, that just fell. But I don't think it's too crazy, and I think it works fine enough. You also have some wrinkles thrown in with the suit to give it more of that realistic design that it is a suit that he's wearing, which I also don't mind at all. I think all of it together is just like pretty okay. I really like the design of this figure a lot. I've been begging for a simple Batman, and this is a simple Batman that's stays classic but kind of upgrades its design a little more, but not too much. It's still very recognizable, which I really like. The head sculpt too looks really great. The way that they did it looks really good. I like that a lot. It doesn't look weird or like unhuman like. It just looks like a really good Batman head sculpt. The 5 o'clock shadow and the kind of stubble they tried doing didn't work, I think, as well as they wanted it to, but it's not horrible. It just doesn't make the figure look the cleanest in the head sculpt area. But other than that, that's going to be it for the details, so let's go on to the articulation. He has a pretty good double ball peg or dumbbell joint for the head. I honestly like it. McFarlane usually does good with these, and proves to Hasbro as to why we don't need disc hinges anymore. And then with the arms, you can move it. Actually, let me do this arm, because this arm, the butterfly joint, is stuck. So you can move that arm that high up, which is nice. I like that. And then it rotates around. You can't really do all the way because of the cape. But you have the double jointed elbows, which work amazingly. And then over here, the bicep also works really nicely. They didn't do that weird cut that they did on some of the other figures, so it actually works nicely and looks good. And then you have the McFarlane wrist ball joints here. So they go, down, up, all that stuff. So yeah, standard McFarlane. And then we have the torso, which is actually pretty good. The torso goes down this far, which that's pretty good, honestly. And if you wanted to customize it more, I guess you could easily can. But yeah, so moving that far down out of the box, no customizing, the cape brings it back a little bit. But I really like that. I think they did a really good job on that. And then moving back, he also can do that really well. So if you need a Bane to break the back of Batman, there you go. It does have a little bit of gappage there, but I'm okay with it. Some people may not be, and I understand that. He has the twist at the rib area there, and then he has the actual waist twist itself. Moving side to side is also really good, so that's nice. And then you have, with the legs, perfect splits, which is really good. The diaper is cut and flexible enough for the leg to kick this high up, which is fantastic. And kick back, not really, but, it's not really needed. You have the double jointed knees, which work really nicely there. And then if you move it up, then you have some thigh swivel there. That is really good. But the reason why you won't be able to do it neutrally is because if you try, the thigh is going to get cut or kind of pinched out of the diaper, because that is the internal butt cheek there for Batman. So yeah, the diaper obviously covers it, but it's under there. And then, yeah, so I think that's all with the legs, really. Yeah. So then now to the ankles. The ankles move this far down, this far up, which I would kind of like it to move up higher, but that's okay. And then you have the swivel, you have ankle pivot, and you also have the toe articulation. Here, Batman stands next to the Marvel Legends Mark III Iron Man. Here he stands next to the Zack Snyder Justice League blue and red version of Superman, and then here he stands next to the Dark Knight Returns Armored Batman. Here he stands next to the Dark Knight Returns regular suited Batman. And just to show you the torso articulation and why I find it so good, with this figure, I had to customize it so it can go down this far, the torso articulation. So I had to customize it to go down like that. And the fact that no customizing needed, the fact that it can just do that on its own normally, just with no problem, I honestly really like that. And I wonder if it's lower. I think it's just about the same. Or maybe The Dark Knight Returns goes a little lower. But honestly, for McFarlane toys, usually having no kind of torso articulation and just stepping up like this, finally kind of making good figures. I mean, some of the ones now, like the Dark Knight figures, don't have any torso articulation, and I heard were kind of trash. Anyway, so yeah, so I honestly, that's why I like this so much, the figure overall and what it carries. Here he stands next to the Justice League Zack Snyder verse Ezra Miller Flash, and then here he stands next to the Dark Knight Returns Joker. Here he stands next to the Carrie Kelly Dark Knight Returns Robin and the Marvel Legends Stan Lee. Measuring this figure, you could see he stands right under the 7.5-inch mark. So what's my final verdict on this figure? What's the final opinion? If you see this, pick it up. You won't be disappointed. I love it, and it's amazing. I almost have nothing to say but just good stuff. However, I do wish it came with a punching hand. One punching hand would have been really good. But yeah, really great figure. Love the articulation. It's amazing, especially for a McFarlane figure. You're definitely going to have a lot of fun posing this thing around, putting it next to your other figures, although it is a little bit on the short side. Other figures do scale with it. Like, I know the Action Comics 1000 Superman and the Hush Superman would work with this, although those are both kind of hard to find figures. I know those would work with this. And, of course, figures like the Carrie Kelly Robin or even the, I believe, Dick Grayson one that just came out not that long ago by McFarlane. So, yeah, I'm curious to see how this stands against the Flash, the newest one that just came out, not the Ezra Miller, but the one with the alternate head sculpt, I believe. I'm interested to see how that comes out. But, yeah, final verdict is going to be a 9 out of 10. I love this thing. So much fun with this figure. If you see it, especially for $20, please get it. You won't be disappointed. And that's going to be it. thank you guys so much for watching. I know I haven't posted in a bit, and I posted this review because I do have a stop motion coming up that I am so excited to film and stuff like that. And then I have some more Spider-Man stuff coming after that. So, yeah, stay tuned. I know I keep saying there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening. It's just taking some time to film and do, so I really hope you guys understand. And we made it to 600 subscribers, which is starting to get to the kind of like, not like the big numbers, but like, for me it is, you know, it's kind of cool to see. I don't know, it's cool to say that I have 600 subscribers, you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.